Hello and welcome. Thanks everyone for joining today's webinar. My name is Inês. I'm Head of Digital and Communication here at Boyum, and I'm here with my colleague, Solution Advisor Thomas Breton, expert in logistics solutions. Hi, Thomas.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Ines.
Thank you for participating. Thomas will be sharing with you his valuable insights on production and logistics traceability with a quality-first approach. As you know, quality isn't just about inspections and compliance, although complying with regulations is a big part of it. It's also about ensuring a certain level of quality in the products and deliveries, starting with processes involving raw materials and ending with the final product for the customers. So, who is this topic relevant for? Today, we want to focus on the pains and opportunities that manufacturers, with or without wholesale and distribution, are dealing with. We understand this topic is particularly relevant in the regulated industries, and we want to make the work of these manufacturers easier through systems that provide them with complete end-to-end traceability and help them maximize their ERP investment. In this particular case, if they're using SAP Business One. So why is traceability necessary for production and logistics teams? Traceability allows these companies to track every step of their pre-production, production, inbound and outbound logistics, and so on, in order to ensure high quality end products and get real-time data when they need it. This will help them comply with regulations and, of course, become more efficient and profitable as a result. Why are we at Boyum addressing this topic? Who is Boyum? Because we have a business strategy called the product value chain, we want to be bringing value to the processes of our customers all over the world in the areas of innovation, production, quality, logistics, and launch. So they can bring more and better products to life. That's why our tagline is bring your products to life. We don't want to be there for them just during one of these stages, so we offer solutions for all of them, as you can see in this slide. And today in particular, we are focusing on two specific ones. BES Manufacturing Prodomax WMS for SAP Business One. They work seamlessly together with an integration we worked on to provide this end-to-end traceability that is so key when the goal is ensuring that only high-quality products get to the customer's door. Over to you, Thomas, to explain how exactly we are helping companies achieve this.
Thank you, Ines. So, to start with that presentation, we try to picture one customer case that we faced. It was a pharmaceutical customer, and this customer was facing lots of pain points with his current system. So in terms of difficulties, it was very tough to identify, to manage, follow the batch within the warehouse, within the production, within the flows of the company globally. And it was so as a consequence, in case of incident, it was almost impossible to retrieve the right information on the origin of the issue. Another product related more for warehousing was that the product were not stored in adequate location. So, for example, if the product needs to be in a hazardous location or on a cold location, that was something that was not maintained by the system. Without digitalization of the solution, that was also involving lots of paper within the different processes and flows of the company. So to transfer an information from the ground, from the warehouse, or from the workshop to the back office. So that was lots of paper transfer. And of course, with paper, that also means lots of manual entries in the system, which were occurred afterwards. So the data were not up to date because the paper need to move to the back office, then the back office to have time to enter the information in the system. And of course, also another consequence was to generate errors, human errors during manual entries in the system. And so based on that, we are going to try to highlight the benefits of the integration between our two solutions, BEAS Manufacturing and Produmex WMS for the warehouse management system. So the first benefit of managing a company with those two solutions is that WMS is coming with a mobile solution to allow to catch the information directly on the ground. So that means that using the kind of device you can see on that slide, on the left part of the slide, you'll be able to enter the data directly in the warehouse, not having to use a computer, a keyboard, or to do it backward with in the back office. You'll be able to do it directly on the floor, close to the gate where you receive product, for that example. And another big advantage is that you're going to be able to scan information instead of entering them. If your products are coming with barcodes or QR code or data matrix, then you'll be able to scan the information, and so you will avoid to enter wrong data, misinformation in the system. And so here you're going to see two small videos of how to make an inbound flow using WMS. So on that first video, it's a step-by-step entering the product code. Then I will enter the batch code. And so the system will ask me for every single information required by the item settings. The best before date, if the product got an expiration date, that's of course also something that we can track, and the quantity at the end. So this is an example where users have to go for every information. You can imagine to scan some of those information if they are product with barcode or QR code again. And on the right part, it will be the same flow, but on that one, I will use a GS1 barcode, including all the information. So if you have a vendor able to provide you with this kind of barcode, so I'm stopping the video just to show you, that's a barcode including many information, not a single one, but many information. And so WMS will pass the information, and boom, now you can see the result. With one scan, WMS has identified the item, the batch number, the best before date, and also the quantity that was included in the barcode. So not every vendor will be able to provide you that kind of barcode, but if you have some of them, that's the start to save time, to have better information in the warehouse, and also to have the information in real time. Another improvement using a WMS is that you are going to also properly identify your product in your warehouse. WMS is coming with a label management system. So WMS will release label directly during the flows without any user action. You don't have to press a button or to go on a computer to print a label. WMS will print it automatically because it will detect that's the right moment. And so this is an example of a label coming with WMS. It's the default one. Of course, you'll be able to adapt it to define your own format if you want to add a logo or whatever. And on that label, it's really the goal is to stick it on a pallet to identify it using what we call an SSCC. So that's the barcode at the bottom of the label. The SSCC will be a unique identifier for every logistic unit. So commonly, that's the pallet, but it could also be a bag, could also be a box, whatever needs to be identified in your warehouse. And so using those identifiers, that will give you lots of detail regarding your stock, and also that will improve not only the information in the information system, but also physically in your warehouse. When you're walking, you will find the right label with the right information on the product, and that's also a key part of improving the stock management. Next, as explained before, the fact to catch the information using the mobile device will feed directly SAP, will feed directly the information system. And so every information you'll catch with WMS will already be integrated in SAP. And so every inbound flow will be recorded in SAP ASAP. And so you can see here, that's the stock that will be available in SAP. And so you can see that here I got 2 lines. So that means that I got 2 pallets, 2 different SSCCs, 2 different ID for my pallet. I can have the information of what item I got on it, the quantity, the batch number per pallet. I can have quality status, and of course, I will have the location. So I know exactly where I'm going to find those pallets within the warehouse at the end. Still in the warehouse, another part of the traceability will be during the dispatch, during the picking flow, because that's also a key part. If you want to manage a complete flow in terms of traceability, there is the inbound flow, because all the information you can catch during inbound will be improving your traceability, but that's the same for outbound. So during the picking flow, we'll catch all the information of what has been picked, what has been prepared for which customer, and also on which pallet you put the product. So for example, that's a delivery note released by Produmex WMS. And so you can see that on that delivery note, I will have 2 SSCCs here, 2 pallets, one here and one here. And on each of those pallets, I can tell you that on the first one, I will have only champagne. And on the second one, I will have some coffee filters and some rice. So I have pretty much all the detail, including the batches also. You can see here I got the batches. And so I can track what I sent to which customer and with which format I did it, how many pallets, and so on. So traceability is really from the beginning to the end. And for the workshop flow, the production flows, that's the same thing. The idea would be that the batches will be tracked for every stage in the company. So during the production flows, you will be able also to, on that screen, to allocate one batch to a specific production order. You can also leave it free, and so just manage it with FIFO or FIFO. That depend on your processes and expectation. But same thing, the production will have a view and will be able to select some specific batches, and then this information will be tracked for all the other steps of the production. So that will feed logistic for picking for production, but also that information will be tracked when the material will be consumed during the production flows and so on. So at the end, we'll have a complete vision of what material have been used for which production order. That's also something that we're going to see. Now, let's see a concrete case. Imagine you have a call from a supplier, and the supplier inform you, hey, I provide you a solvent last week, and that solvent got a quality issue. It cannot be sold, it cannot be used. You need to get rid of it, to isolate it, and you need to react now. So using our system, I will try to explain you what can you do and what information you could retrieve just choosing BEAS and WMS in the meantime. So the first reaction would be to try to limit the crisis. How? By identifying, okay, what's in progress? What is currently in progress for that solvent? And the second objective would be to block the stock to be used by any processes. And so in that case, the idea would be to use that screen. And so you'll be able to see, okay, with the looking view, what are currently stock allocation for this item and this batch, this solvent. So here I can see on the right this item is linked to this pick list number 9. So first I need to stop this pick list. And so I will open it and I will see the status of the pick list and I'll be able to close it to avoid to move forward and to and to use it for production or to ship it to a customer. Then second action, I will select my stock and I will change the quality status. So by that, the status was released. I will change it to blocked. Okay. I said that I want to enter a reason when I block a stock. And so I will be able to enter the reason that I'm blocking it because global vendor called me. There is an issue with that stock. I have to block it. And by blocking it, I can tell you that this stock will not be able to be picked or prepared or shipped for any usage. It's for the moment completely blocked within the company. You cannot do anything with it. You'll need to make a decision of what to do next. But at first, you are just blocking the stock and not digging bigger the issue. Second reaction will be, okay, can I look back? Can I retrieve the batch history of that in my warehouse? And so same thing, we're going to go in that screen for traceability. And so I will enter my item and my batch. And so I'll be able to retrieve, okay, for this batch, you can see for the batch 1, sorry, I received the product on the 19th of March, and I'm able also to open it, and then I will see the good receipt PO that was done from from Lasercom in that case, and to move on. I can see in the case I'm sending the product to customers, I can also see if I ship it to some customers. So here in that example, I can see I ship it twice to Maxitech and to Parameter Technology. So I can tell, I need to call them to warn them, okay, I shipped you last week this solvent, please isolate it, do not use it. In the same screen then, we're going to find the movement in the warehouse. If I transfer it from one location to another one, and we're going to see also the quality status evolution. So that's interesting. That means that I change it after reception from quarantine to released. And so I updated the status. I see also if I've done inventory exits, so cycle count transaction on it. This is linked to an issue for production. And I can retrieve the information in that screen. So basically that screen, the ID would have to see the historical data of that item, that batch, from a logistics standpoint. What stock transaction have been done using that batch? Then the third reaction, if you are a manufacturer, it will be to see, okay, have I used that product in a production flow? So have I transformed it or used it into a recipe or whatever production transaction? And so can I have a customer impacted by that quality issue? And so this is another screen where we're going to find the link between batches of raw material and batches of finished goods. So at first, I will enter my item and my batch. Here, I will retrieve the transaction that I've done for this solvent and the batch number 2. So I see I received it on 19th of March. I consume it several times for production. And I can also see that I made a quality control after reception. So I can also go there and find, okay, what did I measure? Why did I accept that batch at first? And have I been wrong myself? Or am I measuring the right thing when I enter the goods? So I got all the history related to this. And I will have also another vision. So I can open the goods receipt to see when did I receive it. And I will also be able to see, okay, did I use that batch into a finished good? And so Here, I can see that this batch number BTC02 have been used into 3 batches of finished goods. So that solvent have been used into 3 batches. And so I can then double click on it and I will open the same screen for the batch of the finished goods and have the information of the finished good. And so you can see when I click on one, I will see that this product has been shipped to Maxitech. So the finished good paint 01, which is a painting. I've sent it already to a customer. So same thing, I use the wrong product, the solvent, to produce a paint, and then I already sell it to Maxitech. So I probably need to call Maxitech and let them know that I had a quality issue with that. So that screen will be more for traceability regarding production flows, production operation, transformation of raw material into finished goods. And so for the customer that I was mentioning at the very first of that presentation, as a result of implementing BEAS with WMS, and so working with the two solutions integrated, it has currently is its compliance with the local regulation and the business regulation, and that allows to track the quality status on every flows of the company, inbound flow, outbound flow, but also for the production flow within the company. Now there is a real-time stock vision. All the transactions are posted in real time in the ERP. So when some goods arrive on the facility, they are in the system after only a few minutes. Don't have to wait few hours or even sometimes few days to enter the data in the back office. It is entered directly by the warehouse keeper in the information system. The traceability on every stage are now ensured, and there is communication between warehouse and manufacturing regarding traceability. They are talking the same language. With WMS and BEAS also, we have different flows that will follow the best practices, and so that will ensure also to improve productivity. And WMS will also have a strong focus on expiration dates and make sure that you will consume the product at the right moment and not to wait too long that it expired, or not to ship something with a longer expiration date, manage FIFO properly. And at the end, avoiding to enter manually the data in the information system improved also a lot the stock quality. So that decreases stock discrepancies, and so avoid to have surprise shortage that in your information system you were supposed to have stock, but when you go at the location, you find nothing because that's discrepancy that was not recorded in the system. So those improvements have been successfully identified by that customer after implementing BEAS and WMS. So now it's Q&A session.
Yes, thank you so much, Thomas. It's really nice to see how the functionality gets our customers the results they need when it comes to traceability and quality. So in the end, they can provide high quality products and services to their customers. That's what we want, right? Thank you for all the insights. We won't have time for all the questions, but make sure to leave your question in the chat and we will provide an answer on email. So we have received a few and we will have time for probably 4. I will read the first one. Would you recommend implementing both solutions together or one before the other? Thomas?
Yeah, so thank you. That's a very good question. So we strongly recommend to implement BEAS and WMS all together, or at the very least, if you can't, for any reason, to define the processes with both solutions in mind. Why? Because considering both systems concurrently, you can ensure comprehensive coverage of your operational needs to avoid to have potential gaps after implementation, and also to optimize the synergy between BIAS and WMS. So as a result, you will maximize the benefits of such a project, implementing both systems in the meantime.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for clarifying. And thank you for the questions. Second question, can you give more specific examples of why production and logistics need to work together like this, since those teams face different challenges?
Yeah, that's very classic that there is a kind of border between logistic team and production team in many companies. So that border usually is crossed by the picking for production process and by the receive from production process. Those are the two intersections between production and logistic most of the time. Those points, they are critical into an integration. And it's essential to ensure that the logistics provide the correct component to the production process at the right time and in the right location to not stop production, to move forward. And then at the end of production, the finished goods, they should contain all the necessary information for logistics. And so logistics can handle them afterwards, identify them, and manage them properly in the warehouse. So store them at the right place in the warehouse to either optimize storage, but also optimize customer service by being able to ship it very quickly after production has been done.
Great to know. In the end, it's because of those intersections that the integration exists, right? Thank you once again. Third question, can production planners and shop floor operators request material for a work order from the warehouse digitally, so they don't have to maybe pick up the phone?
Yeah, so that's how the integration has been designed, basically. The idea is that the production teams define the right moment to ask logistics to provide them the right material. That's the pick list for production functionality. And so then the logistic team will see the picking orders on the WMS side. And depending on how the priority have been set, if it's urgent or if it's something for the next day, logistic will be able then to start to prepare the goods. And then when the picking flow have been completely achieved, they'll be able to move it to the production area at the right location for the production. And of course, also to identify it with a label, as I also explained during that presentation, put a label also on the prepared product to specify for which production order it has been picked, if that's something that makes sense regarding the business.
Yeah, it is very necessary automation of all those workflows. We are wrapping up. So last question, can this manage quality inspections? Can this integration, this solution manage it?
Yes, so that's something I didn't mention during the presentation. BIAS got a quality order functionality. And so using BIAS, you'll be able to define inspection plan, measurement types, expected results, accepted results. And so those quality orders will be generated by BIAS depending on criteria you will define for inbound flow, so reception of goods, for reception from production. Also, when you receive finished goods, you might want to make a quality control on it. And you can also trigger them manually. And so create a quality control order manually because you have a specific reason. As a result, those quality control measurements will be stored directly in the information system in SAP. And the control material, if all the tests have been positive, it will be released to make it usable for all the other processes. So most of the time, it will be usable to get picked for production or to get picked for a specific sales order and shipped to the customer. And maybe as a complementary information, because it's a bit close, Beas got also the possibility to manage maintenance order. So it's a bit like a quality control order, but that will be more used for to qualify and assess equipment, so machinery or whatever, and so to make sure that it's still usable after a certain period of time or after a certain number of usage in the company.
Thank you so much, Thomas. I'm happy to see the audience trying to explore more of the possibilities of this integration that is almost endless. It's also a pleasure to be here, and I would love to remind everyone that Boyum has partners everywhere in the world. We have over 1,000 partners. We would love to hear from you through our sales email in the screen, or you can visit our website and see, read more about these products, get in touch easily, ask for a specific demo. We can give you a free demo, keeping in mind your specific business needs. So thank you all for joining, and thanks again, Thomas.
You're welcome. Thanks everybody for joining.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.